Ewe so memo aha emu akwaba eba wapomodin etisen dwumedie ewo original TV eso ene eye ebnada foforo atwediampon ede adomo yen na ewe so no yenye akwanya ya yeba bedi nkomo ede afa ya pomodin ehu ensem ehu ewe nkomo ayebedie no yebekasa ede afa polio ehu ensunsuanso a ede bre ye mofra no ena afei ekwan yebefa so etimi aboye ho ban ede efri yarewa no ehu memu akwabai na mekai wo se eyade se dwumadie eye aboafa waso yasene a yede eba besomwo ene C4C homeopathic medical center na mamenka wo se ebia na wada yeso ene se obepe apomudimu entity no aba beye nurse ni anase eye dokotani ewo omanmu ana amahodo so ene na akwanya no etimi aba ma esanse ope entity a ebetimi aboa wo na wanya nimde na wowie so a wanya baabi ede aye adwuma asom oman Ghana ede a na de hia ne se obekwa kofa nkrata ewo C4C homeopathic medical college na womo ekira kwan de na chese edoso pa na kai se Commission for Technical and Vocational Training Ghana wama won mutumi krata se wonfa enya adwuma na wonfa entity eye enimdefo ewo memo ewo yapomodin FM enu ntini se opese oye pharmacist opese oye nurse na unya nimdi a ode beboa ama yapomodin aso ye netimi akonkan de ene nafoni eche honmo na okọ omai Ghana afana baabi a womo ewo nkrabata bi ewo honmo obetumi akwakofa krata enu ntini obetumi afre 0201 522 885 0201 522 885 na watimi ene empanifo edinkomo anase ko abefo ntenta fidie no eso www.c4c.chmc.com neho ena obekọ na watimi aboawo ama wada yeso no nso etimi abem ede amawo yentwa ye ho emra na se yeba yebeto adwumedie no eso sanso emu akwaba eba wapomodin etisen dwumadie ewo original TV eso yefri dwumadie no ase no ede yenkonkofa health code na yemfa entu yehofo emfa emobre ewie health code ayede ebro and say time and health are two precious assets that we don't recognize and appreciate until they have been depleted. Entino ene efutuo ya yede ekọ eye ya setenemu yede boy ho ban e wa setenemu ene se ebre ene apomuden wo hoi eyade bia eho hia ye pa na eye japade kese pa aya na omanfo bebre no enkai anase wonya enkaye ewo ho na abre a yadwene bekoso abre a ye benu ye ho se ensema fayase no na chese sabre no etwam ne nyina ene se emre wo hoi eyade a eho hia pa enu nti no wo mre sese utumi edidi dwuma bomoden a se ubetumi enya akwanya na wasanso ato bo ase na wadi dwuma ebetumi de mfaso abro na kai se apomodin wo hoi nso no eyade eho hia pa edema odasani bia enu nti no so apomodin ho nsem ehia wo a da chibi no nso no ebeboaw enu nti na da bia dan wapomodin dwumadie wapomodin tesen dwumadie so no yedi nkomo ye ebeboa ya setena enu nti na aduane a wobedi akomu no kai se eno eni wadru afei edru a wo benom no kai se eno eni waduane se ne be ya adada nyina no wobenya ahoden eni apomodin papa na watimi ede ato akoso ede dwuma ewo asetena emu enu nti sa efotu semyi Dennis Wesley ena ede soma ase yemfra mrew awie ya wobetumi ede ato koto dwem brano no kai na hye so se emre ene apomodin wo hoi ehia pa ede ema odasani bia enti sa wona me ya adwene a na kire se ene efotu sem a yede brew no eno no emre wo hoi ehu hia enu nti wonya mra faye dwumadi a ebeboa wo amadaachi watimi anyam mfa so osaso enene wo ho odene a bomoden a se obetumi aye bibia ede mfa so papa ebebrew na eno nso etimi aboa wo daachi ene ompanyi emfie eso na awie yi eye wapomoden te san dwumadi a yede eba besombo no topic a ye be discuss ene polio ane what's dinda aya ye tate ebrebe ne tate polio honsem polio enye no nko ane se asori anasa aba omemu ene fata se yedi ho enkomo brano no ye woi a adasa ye wo bi ka ho twesem no kra se ye nwo ese empoano anwea enti ye woi o maso bewo ona na nkanso a ebewo na ehu behia se yebesua de na yenye hunumu ede afa polio yare no ehu na eno nso etimi aboa yen na yetimi dibi etufo na emofra wo mo beba ya setene mu nso no yetimi ahweso ede abo won mo eho eban empanyifo ani wo mo ebedi nkomo awie eye ora David Samuel Achu ya wo ye public health officer wo Teshi community clinic afe Linda Kosa eye public health nurse wo Lekma hospital empanyifo anase ebedwafo ene eye endifo a ewie yatenase a ye ba bedi nkomo ede afa polio ehu mabedwafo me mama ha emo akwaba eba wapomude te se dwumedi so na apomude sen
o nyame adom ye ho ye
eda se so se ye to nsa frem mo maba na me ka wo se medin ene mame kunedo metina mu ede amamenu aba Cynthia akansi ewie bebe a wo bia mechia wo nyame adom nyame adom a na kire se oba waba no aba beto adwumadi ni so enti bibi a wo ye bia so no nyame nka ho na wansan so emfa omra me ka wo se adwumadi C4C homeopathic clinic na aso yasene na mede eba besomo awie na entempa no ye free adwumadi no ase nanso no ye ni nkomo kakra emfa health coach no ehu de na eka ene se emre na afei apomoden health ana good health ade ehu hia ye pa nanso no aya na mpempi no enkrofo bi no enta kai kopimo se sabre no ebetwem ana se ebeduru mreboni bi na wo mo benu wo mo ho se menya amre menya apomoden papa nanso no mentimi anhweso ye ana se menkramu ye amenei ehia atome sa kotu yi de afutuo na odebema timemufo ewo mu
efutuo a medebema timemufo ne se bre ne bre yebema ye nan aye entientia wo hospitals yakọ for regular checkups yent ne fie se yare mbo ya ansa na yare den yakọ because yare ni bi wo ho a ehyewumu empia abonti before ebepie ne na eche se edo ye den eko owuom na yebeye regular exercise na yebedi fruits to boost our immune system na yebehwe ye ndam yie ne ade health no wankasa wo health ewo wankasa wo nsem enhye obi ansem ti the way awa wo behwe ho so yie no eno ho result na daachi obeye de obi
same health coach ede na yebeka de afa ho.
What I will have to say about this is even in the Bible that where Paul said, "He wish above all things that as we prosper in body, in soul, it means it covers every aspect of our life." And there is a common saying that health is wealth, which means the healthier you are, the wealthy you will live on earth fully. So I will also advise that as far as we carry on our duties, daily activities, we should try as much as possible to consider our health aspect as well, especially our children. They are the future leaders of the country, Ghana. If we don't handle their health at early stage, to affect their future as well.
Yeah, that's it. Some of the Bible mu. Inti no, natural se tresem no kra kasa e de fire pomode ho. Sara so ene asetene mu no. E wose etimi e ya hweye na ye boye ho ban e de free yarwa ahodo ehu. Ewie ye nkomo ayebedie no efa polio ehu. Medical bisa polio yare a etwemu ana eda ho te ase.
Polio na te ase.
Ete ase. Enwu
ye te ase pa.
Same polio ekwa na ewo ho.
Pacho
ewo ho pa nti na me nim say a free system ni mo no kwasem say un say emre bi atwa mu no na akire say ebehu akwala bi ebi ane nantie mu ene ade na esehwe asomasi we na ye no ene sa abre no ana education ni wo ho pa no ene na akire say ye twetwe ni ade but enei ye nte ho hwe nti na agya me nim say polio de free wi ase but ewo ho de na ese fatase edim ho nkomo na etimi boaye same ye ka polio a polio ye yare ben na de ne kofa polio eba.
Okay, thank you. Polio, that is the common name, but it's poliomyelitis. But we have shortened it to be polio. It's a disease caused by a virus known as the polio virus.
Okay.
And it's in types. We have type 1, 2, and 3. That is the virus. But basically, one of the things that we use to categorize polio is when it leads to paralysis. That is a situation we consider it to be polio. And when we see the children being walking in one style or one way, which is not supposed to be, then we suspect that it will be a case of what? Polio.
Na Linda, some say polio no, e wo ma hodro miensa. Ye mu boom. Polio type 1, type 2, type 3 no, and so ye benedem.
First no, na polio nankasa polio yare no. Eno na omode ye polio vaccine no.
Okay, yare no.
Pacho, polio virus
no.
Eno an ye de ye vaccine no. Inti first no mo use type polio vaccine omo use type 1 and then the type 2. But later on omo realize say with the type 2 no, like no bafom and omo ye no ye den a free system no munti ebeka type 1 and then the type 3. But sisi a no ma san ya type 2 ne foforo eno ano ayedin enom de ayedin e de aba system no eno na sisi a ye ba be use for NID a ye
na ye ka polio 1 polio 2 no a na me be say difference no ene de he ye ka type 1 type 2 type 3 no a stages no difference no ananso so ye no ene de he wonya ye ka so wanya polio type 1 a e de be na ba mu ahunu say we ye type 1 type 2 ni and a type 3 so any.
Okay, thank you. The polio virus itself, either is type 1, either is type 2, is type 3. It all brings about the same signs and symptoms.
Symptoms, okay.
It all leads to the polio disease.
Okay.
So whether you have the polio type 1, type 2, type 3, as far as you are infected, and then it leads to a certain stage, where if care is not taken, it leads to the paralysis stage, which is the highest level of its effect on the body. But for you to identify whether it is type 1 or type 2 or type 3, that is where lab have to carry out lab results. When you go for the lab test, that is where, after the result is out, that is where they will be able to know specifically the type of polio virus that you are really struggling with.
Now polio yankasa no ehe fa na enya no virus no ehe no ote ya obi betimi akwakofa eye yare ani bi.
Virus no ti nipa ejanan.
Okay.
Yenya free ejanan mu. Your friend no fiko oral.
Okay.
Obi oho ko ejanan a owie a ebi onhohoro ne nsa na ode ahye na no. Ebeko wenum. Ti virus no before be enter into the body no eye true weja 9 to 1 no.
Na hwan na benya eye polio ebi panyin akwala anase old people ana omuko womu na womunya yare ebi.
Akwala mostly those at risk ye nkwala, but se panyin benye bia ebia oswa no yan vaccinate no.
Okay.
Anase panyin bia ebia wetu kwan akọ ikura polio yare no ewo ho pa. But most way omu nya ye nkwala nketewa from 0 to 6.
Okay. Iti abofra bi ene ebe wo no ene ye ekosi 6 years no or ye at risk. So obenya polio yare ni bi. Na yenhwe kwan be so ena ye behunu se abofra yi awoda hɔ yi wanya polio virus yi bi anase polio aba betena ne mu.
Thank you. Mostly we look at the signs and symptoms, and some may experience at the early stage in the form of 1 week, normal symptom like that of malaria, that is fever, headache, sore throat, and others when after the 1 week, then they are unable to identify that whether it is the polio virus that is affecting the person or not. That is why we normally advise that if a child at that stage under 5 years is experiencing most of these signs and symptoms, don't sit in the house and be the doctor or the nurse in the house. Try as much as possible to avoid even going to pharmacy for drugs, which you don't know what you are treating. The best thing is to go to the hospital for them to carry out certain lab investigations to know the actual problem that is facing the child. In that case, there will be appropriate treatment can be given to the child. But also, if the child, let me use for example the leg. See that the leg is straight, but suddenly the leg is not straight again. The hand, it means the possibility or the likelihood that the child is infected with the virus is high. So therefore, you observing these signs and symptoms of your child, you have to rush the child to the hospital for them to assess the child well.
Okay. Inti yadimfoni ato screen so yehu se enan ase baako okwa baako nso ejina ho pintin na se ye walanta ewu krom ha wo
esuno polio de no esuno alanta de no eno no enan baako be hwea kakra
polio no wo ho
with the polio no enan baako be hwea kakra
Ninti nso ye ewo mu no no we ni de baako behi na baako de ahoden ewo mu. Okay. Na yenhwe yi signs and symptoms ya ye ka ho asem yi. E de be ne be me ehunu se abofra de e bia de ye ni because chroma say de yare bebre signs and symptoms ni ye pe.
Especially if it is the viral type, mostly at the early stage experience the same signs and symptoms.
Inti de hi pa ene differentiate yenfa COVID-19 say obinya sore throat, obinya tipaye, obinya chese ohanu de bebre kwa.
Polio no so sa obinya sore throat, obinya tipaye ni nyina ye viral infections.
Okay. Inti esa abusuane de symptoms no eno ano.
But with the polio no it affects your spinal cord.
Okay.
And or nerves no. Inti say affect no and sometimes so it may affect your brain.
Okay.
And polio no? Yeah, and only ye edru last stage. No there. Would John who cry and inti eba ne say no na cause paralysis no. E ma wo bubu eguo. E bi o ho betumi affect one sa na say
online. Na okay, na some person
okay, and also mostly the paralysis stage is the dangerous stage which we don't wish and pray for to get to that stage.
Okay.
So mostly if you are observing these signs and symptoms, being normal or abnormal, the mother will be able to tell, well, you know, your child normally wake up in the morning. He find it difficult to walk. As a mother, you should be alarmed. Why is my child not able to walk? Yesterday it was not the same, but today it's a different issue. In that case, you, your mother, should know that there's something actually wrong with the child. That means you have to quickly rush the child to the hospital.
Okay.
Either the arm, either the leg, or sometimes stiffness of neck. The neck of the child. I find it difficult to turn. And feel severe pain. Even raising up the hand up and down or picking something. Muscles weakness. Severe one. Those are the most dangerous signs and symptoms that you have to quickly run the child to the hospital.
Okay. Enti bia na Same Brofu you won't ase ane. Same Obroni but the oka nyina ne se edurumre bia e wo se awofo no niema bi fa ye ho de ne be fa wo ho e bia na wabofra no ade a che anopa osore ye na ade ene odware na okosuko no ofa ne back ade a che ye no oba no won sorry kra no sorry mu ye de ma no ne nsa wo peja fa de kra no de ma no sabre no e wo se o ma ehu hia wo se wo be fa abofra no e de na ko hospital yenko back to ye picture no a ye de to so no ye hu no se ase be ma no a okoto animu ha no uniform for de no ase okoto hono mu a wo wiawia wo fom polio no na etimi affect no to that extent.
That's the effect.
That stage where the udra
and one
we ye ho hwe enye ki obia so nye den enni ho no.
Edro bia ni ho a betimi ama abrante anante.
Dabi.
Surgery.
Dabi.
Ebi ni ho sa.
There is
But
no cure for the polio.
Bet me am managing the kakra but on to me entiapo.
Yo, yenhwe ema no nso. Ema no a wo mo ejina hoi, ye hu se de dade bi atotototo wo mo nan no. Ehu ene ne kekeka ho. Eno no ede na ewo ho a eye ede eboa enan no.
For support. Best support because eba ne sa wo nan no eye weak nti ntumi nye den engina ho ye nti omo de dade ne sha for support se ne be ya obetumi anante.
Na tibia polio no etumi ede ukọ enie aya na mpempe no ye fa ne se yare bi a ye behunu na ye hunu a ansa ne bedru sei no na kyese aye obi okra no onim se we ne ye de wo no but asase so no obefa no nya sa but ye nhwe ade ba ko nso wo yare ehu da bia no na polio ebe affect onan ana
It may affect one saso brain or spinal cord and or nerve system.
Inti affect sade na yenim sa adwene ne de ho kan na kyese enema bebre na ebeba or how deformities bebre na eba ebetumi aba se nipa baako a wanya polio na adwene betumi aka ne nine the whole body ebetumi aye affected by yare no ana
Stages nti emfitiase no unhu those kind of signs and symptoms.
Okay, aya na wama wano so kakra ma
stages emfitiase no unhu sa signs and symptoms no unless it drew later stage say no de ye hwea enyi but with the beginning stage ne de obenya tipaye obefe uminimu beye wo ya those small signs and symptoms no enti ne say wo ho ni say wo twen ma yare bo wansa na wa yeden wakọ hospital uhu nsentwani bi say ya wo kwa ye beye o labs na yehu ade potia eyo ebi a beginning stage no kwa yehu a ebetumi aso ano entem before ebeji nsem ayeden
Sameyenko back to effects no of polio. Yehunu say paralysis ewo ho. But what are the other effects yebenya ewo yare mu?
Okay. Apart from the paralysis, the brain can also be affected. And if the brain is affected, we have something we call polioencephalitis, which means swelling of your brain. So apart from the paralysis, there's another symptoms that can happen to the child. That is the encephalitis, that is the swelling of the brain. Normally, the signs and symptoms also depends on where the virus finds itself within the body. The virus is at your intestines. Normally, you have stomach with some symptoms. That is the vomiting, upset stomach. But if it's within your throat, that is where you get the sore throat. If it's within your muscles, you develop fatigue. That is weakness. Yeah, so sometimes where the virus finds itself, whether the type 1, 2, 3, will normally let you know the kind and types of symptoms the child or the person is exhibiting.
Okay. It is something me ati ase say oyam.
Say virus no ekọ umua.
Yeah.
Omotina bia ye minimum ne onsunumu. Ansana asprede. Enti ne ba minimum sana ubetumi minimum beye wo ya. Ena eba wo intestines mu a ubeti wonsuno ubenya pain ni ade. Eno na eba okokọ say ehonom yare bia ye den aba ho na say ho pese touch ma.
Okay. Na yare bia no ana virus bia no eba nipa mu a it take time ansana aye adwuma. Polio virus yi woba already mu a how long ena obetumi eyi ne ho adi wo mu?
Mostly infected person, if you go to free yourself, normally when you produce the feces, the virus can be found in the feces. So if somebody, let me say, rainwater comes and run it into the water is contaminated.
Yeah.
If I come to drink from it, the likelihood of me also getting the virus,
Yeah.
as we already established, that it is when you take it through the mouth, you can be infected. So the signs and symptoms, normal, the mild ones, which we call the asymptomatic ones, those ones, that's the sore throat, fatigue, fever, and the rest, that's the early stage. Normally lasts for 1 week. That's why when you start experiencing some of those signs, it may not even be the polio virus. It may be other viral infections.
Yeah.
So that's why we quickly advise you don't go and buy drug pharmacy, because you don't actually know the type of virus or the kind of disease it is. But if you go to the hospital and there is a thorough examination done, they may be able to even know the specific virus that is causing that. In that state, it will be prevented. Because if it gets to the brain, the nerve system, that is where the virus will multiply from the nerve system, damaging all the cells there to the brain, leading to the paralysis and the swelling of the brain and the other aspect.
We are not eating como edia fa polio yare no ehu. Meni ni se na unim se polio no echi abofra no a anase echi wo panni no a na ebetumi ama wadwene atochima anase ebetumi ede wo haw bebre aba nipadua anim. De ne anim ene se onan bebubuo wuntumi nante na wuntumi enya wo ho hwe. Nene no yesua de kakra ede afrimu yenwie ye enkomo ne de ewa pa na unim ebra ye nyini no me de mete se yawo obi pane bone eni nti na nipa ne nan
enya polio no
enya polio
na
no
TB
eti na che centro bi o baby o hu
entro because polio ne nansen yampo ne de pane no abeka ho first na ye drop na nti eba ne sen na ade a eye drop no etime ma wona eyewe rather no say vaccinating obi wo ho a onya yare na ansa na okofo nti no eba ne sa yare no ebeji nsem nti eba ne sa na omo adwen ye omo se ebia eduro ne pane ana so se won so okọ nya ye wo pane nti omo adwen ye omo se pane na ye de won kwala ne na ekose sa polio no
ache se madada ya che ya se we de obi anim ohu se obi kan na wo mu ayese won akra na wokọ no oso anu onte saa wo okọ pane
bone enema
che se eti polio ne de nsunsuanso ne dọọso ba na wo ka se enkane no ne de aduro so wo manum na ye ngo pane but ene no sachaya ba wo hu
achon sachaya ba
yo ene ye ntwa ye homra na se ye ba ye be dom sukọ ye be hunu mpane a ye de aba ne nuro kura de ye ene boa ebe boa ama abofra na pomuden etimi akonanim Wapomuden to say Jumedie C4C homeopathic clinic and I was so yasne na yede eba besomo kai se ebna da bia enwumre no nan edikosi se nunum bebo na yede ebesomo anu ye bia ohia e wasem bisa ho ye fa apomuden ho na ya na yede bro enu ti bomoden ase obehwe Jumedie na watumi esua de na ode abobra no ewie yedi nkomo ede afa polio ehun polio yare bia aya na mpempi no eha emofra ya womo ewo eye mfinhia hwe edikosi mfinhia nsia sania apomudemu animdifo ora Samuel achu na fe Linda Kosa ede atu edwa no na yedi nkomo ede afa yare ehun ansa na yebeko break no na ye kasa ede fa eye polio no niema bia betimi ada ne die ewe nipadua mu ame hunu se ampani ampa mebeye a wonam ho asesei watori mumui yare sei anasa obinten ena eye no na ena no ena yete se polio yi yetimi transmit from one person to the other eye den na utimi transmit yare from one person to the other
So coming into contact with an infected person, person to person. The same no when I'm a polio nibi. Ebia ma kweja nine bia ma romensa me ba no maso gate no me
okay
also ba no wa ba be sum na me spread yare na me ye
nti ai ti se virus ya be ye
na two respiratory me na wo kasa ya ebia ntoso betumi afiri num aba wonnim na me de yare na ye den e de amaw. And then say memfa ne say obi ko ejanan egu nsuo mu a nsuo netne yenkrase bebre nsuo eda fam na ya ye den yenom na obi akọ ejanan egu mu nsuo netne na obi so akosa ode akofie no akonom eya mpanyimfo no yesi omu susano ye vaccinate omo against yare nti na ya normally omo nya no but enkwala na ye nyi ba no ye no ye nya bi ya vaccinate ye nti na ya enkwala na ye omo ye den omo nya no but mpanyimfo de se first no na ye mo omo polio nti omo de omo jitu mu say they've been vaccinated unless ebi ombenya booster kakra de aye den e de asoso na oral ebia te say won say emo na omo tena ye minimum
ebia okay nka bebe sasa ne se mfiano wo hoi
mfiano
basa akura de wo nkofi obi ano
on tumi nkofi obi ano nti eno ense da anye strong way but ebia me wo bi me hanky me de ahwem wa ba befa you've coming into contact with me ubenya bi see it say covid na into no covid insese na ye fa so de boy ye ho ban a bepem samre eni say ye jai egu hono
okay basame ayi sister akasapa wa che se na ebenya yare bi na onhwe se na anu wo ka se panyi betimi enya yare bi panyi a wan fedru betimi enya bi na me ye panyi a menya bi na me wo ho kafo yi me ni koshia no no nso anwo pane anu madura betimi de amana na
betimi de amana so
okay na yenko yenchi kakra polio yare bi a chepa nya nne na polio beba na yenhwe yenye nhwemu ana yemu kompenko echi kakra ema ne mema ho amopa ne tenya polio yare bi
mostly statistically there is no specific percentage that male are more infected than female.
Okay, mema
yeah, but there is statistics that mostly children are more prone or infected than adults because most of our mothers sometimes find it difficult to bring them for the immunizations, which is only that's the only means through which the child can be protected from the polio virus.
Okay. Yansha region anase nkronkron so enka ehefo pa krokasiem ene rural areas no hwamu na ya wo motanya yare bi so.
Okay. See, we've just discussed earlier about how the polio virus can be transmitted from one person to another, and how a person can be directly or indirectly can be infected with the virus. And with that, we mention of the free range that is going to toilet, where mostly which in the villages, the toilet facilities are not enough. So as we all know, we do free range. We go some even the river banks. So at that instant, if the person is infected with the virus and happen to engage in such way of freeing him or herself, the water and the feces are just close to each other to be washed in easily. In that case, everybody comes to fetch the water because that's the source of drinking water for the community, which make it more prone to rural areas than that of the city.
Medekakra besonia same akanoso. One say ekura kese no ye use pipe. Ena sisi aso beko bebia na nsuo ewo ho out nsuo ni seminar de be den o de be hoho nsa ukoye nkurase na ente sa ene ekura kese you hardly see say obi na motutu ntosuo egu bet nkurase no no bebia obe den obe tu ntosuo enti na ma nkurase no mutenya saa yare ne sin ekurom ena ekurom no so awareness no almost no much more than ekurase
na ye kasa ye ena ere bi Mariska wose mimisa ma o se polio yi e affect o sexual health ana
so far
it doesn't affect your sexual, but as normal as human we are, if you are weak, if your muscles is weak, you are having severe headache, that desire or that strength for it will be low. But there is nothing like polio being depriving of you being active sexually. But if you are infected, because of the signs and symptoms, the probability of you being having the urge for it will be low. In that case, you will say you don't have appetite or zeal for that.
Na obisa because ye kase ne nine ni behi aye ketwa nti ebi anka bema nso ananka ne bema no
o da be omo kwa ne omo bo ejuma kese
nine ye ne ya no
omo de bo ejuma na ne teacher bi o chere ma de wo nursing training na ne nine we na oya pa
but Linda me ya suspect
oh
o se ni teacher bi a wo chere na de wo nursing training na ye ne ya o so na obo ejuma pa
ono na ye oka o si ye hu se ne nine da bi o si ye hu se ne nine te sa ne ti fi se ejuma ne ti na o se ye pa ye ne on do bo ejuma nkasa
but me did because what the ba ko ne cross so answer na de o de across so no obeye free ho no na che se tokro bi atu o sere so aha enti yi emu ode pa Mariska emu obi abonfia but ye de nyame ase won se nyame de oye na de wo kwan bebre so na nka ye dwen se eho no deformity bi beba ho but there be umu sa ni pasa na emu na bonfia wate esanse power no wo ho enti eye pa se isi esua de enti eye pa se ubehunu se polio no ebetumi how to this extent na ye hunu mfoni kama bi abofra bi ode ne nsa sum na no obi nso dwendwen ne ho sere wonam na obi nso ebutu wa wo no wo sere ede na asa pictures yi kire yen ede fa eye yare a ye di ho nkomo yi
yes say topic near the national immunization and vitamin schedule say you wo akwala bia ye wo immunizations are the mom vaccines and say endura the mom
aya na mutirimu odin dodo munyi mpane ani frim akwedo ho no mo bekwa akwo pane be bosome wo besu saa
ni nyina ka ho say ye bo mo ho ban ti ya bo ho ban a polio ne ban nya ade a
mo ko stakeholder conferences a mo kan jo mo so mo nye no ayi edred so yanum se ne na polio ne tie no se mpane no kra mo be haye ama emofra ya besu aha ya dwen na ye hunu se ne a etie no betumi de ya fam na yetimi anya mo nti ase
at birth 0 months
ye wo no
fresh na ye be ma no polio o
okay
eno ni but obi wo ho a wo akwala na ode ne betine fia
na nipa no wa no hospital
hospital de be ma wo but obi wo ho so a obewu fie ode ne betine fie nti ena ebi wo ho so obewu hospital kwa but obewu kwesiada
okay
nti kwesiada say ye ntumi ma na age se adwada nti ye ma ne kofi a omra na akoye tournament enti at birth polio o no 2 weeks pa ho aye ntumi mfa ma akwala no
okay enti ene ma wo na ene ye weekend enti immunization center no mu ni ho e wo se nyame adom adwoada me de akwala ne ba after 2 weeks ontumi nya o no
polio o no
na chese wala ki bibi wo ho
wa hwere eno enti onya 6 weeks that's 1 month 2 weeks no was starting the polio 1 10 weeks obeji polio 2 and then 14 weeks no eno no wenya be 3 months obeji polio 3 near the IPV e de ayeden aka eno so ye polio na bia bet we no ya no injection form inactive polio vaccine
okay.
Now the reason why I de panie no aba beka ho ne se enkwala no di eduro ne so omanumu a ebi mutumi puba abonten
ye mu bi ho ananke ye pedro ne saa
obesu na eduro na yeden aba abonten ti dwumadi e wo se eduro no eye no onye ena panie no so esan ye booster enti akwala ne nya we nyina wiane ama ne booster to boost the immune system no enti na omode IPV
na beka ho na polio ya twere ni bebre be polio 4 yi eni nro ya de men ye giska
ompacho ye giska free
mo ye sure
so
because
obi a giska wo ho right so be report ni pa ko no police station ye giska
ye ko we nanu ayi me nipa bi ko we ye ka so ontue ska kakra bi mante ase wo ho nti na me bisa se we ye free ana
acho we de ye
mpane ne de ma
omo ko we ya no maka cha omo kunu se daddy
ense ye dwa ense
free omo
pacho ye free ye
nti polio ye ko we ya nyiska
even an idea ye ba be ye be ko fie ni fie akwa so nkwala ne num eno so ye free ye njiska
na me ba ho no ye wo ho a ne ate kokoko eni anesefo a yi hye lunch box so san wo mo ho ye ba be wo nkra ne pane ye ba be ma nkra ne duru eno no how long ena sa adwumedie no e be take effect ye immunization ya mo ba be kwa akoyi Sam how long?
Okay, the one that we'll be doing to be on 1st of September.
So next month, Thursday
to 4th September. That will be the first round. But the second one will come in October. That will be from 6th October to 9th October. And then it's nationwide. Everywhere.
When you qualify, say, or beji polio ibi?
Children under 5 years.
Okay.
If you are 5 years and above, you are not to take it.
And then I mean, 5 years, mean to me, polio nibi.
No, please.
And then
you can't take it, yes, please.
It's
children under 5 years.
See, Obano, I was 3 months. Eba, BC 4 months, 9 months, so cry.
Wajibi wo weighing da cry.
Na mo washen so dia e kire se akra na je ayen san mani bi nka ho.
Ye be ka o monsa.
No na ya mo de test di ne ye no. Okay. Enti na we na wo so obi aveli ne ho. Parent bia mo amwo nkraman wo mo fie. Mo kwa mo nchen ni nkraman no. Se krankran no wo fie. Enti mo kwa mo nchen ni nkraman no. Ni ntimi ma wo mo polio ebi. Asan se yare ye wo. Polio yi arewo.
Eba kra wontumi nye ejuma. Low productivity. Stigma no kra anye asem ketewa.
Nti yesre mo makwan na nesifo emewo mu bi. Same kama hwe Linda oba na eja. Oba eni akra ne bedi agra obewo no kra na ni ma na ho so na je se dia wo ne dwe na je se wokọ. Nti awie ye di nkomo e dia fa polio ho. Ghana Health Service eyi na wotwe e dia si won mo se won kọ afiefie mu na abofra biara wo wohwe ekosi emfie 9 no obetumi ama no sampa na ibi se ne be ye bebo no ban e de afri yare polio no ho eno nti no wo fie na sa wote kokoko a mesra wo e ma otirimu nye den e ma kraman enkowi obi ba se ena akronfo obewia me da bi pie na kokohwe nipa no na bie no e bi mpo a na enye polio no nko a wo mu di sika kra be de e be ka ho ama mo na chese ni metimi akoyi enkomo aye die wo betumi afre 055 00 90867 0550 090867 na se owo ayi question bi a betumi dia fa WhatsApp line yi eso ana se fre 020 0200 854255 0200 854255 0200 854255 na opese obisa asemi se bia e de fa polio yi ho a same wa ha obeyi anu ama o sa so ena eye sister Linda wono nso wa ha sei a obetimi ayi ano ede ama me ka wo se na watwe mu wo ofie na ate kokoko mesira obie pono no ena aya mo ba anadwo
oh ye mba anadwo
time be
me fan say anapa up to 3 there
inti after 4 ube bo pono mu se mbe wo polio emie enya na ese for ba mo wa hyensode a e wo matade mu e kire se mo na mo wo pane no ahyensode ne de
ebi wo ha ye wo yellow we bi a ye shebu ya tag a ma show polio vaccination
okay
and na ye lunch box ya
lunch box me ba to ye kwa ho ba somra na ye nkonko tie de wo ho ma hai eba eye wapomode te se adwumade so
yeah
me pa cho mo anu so kakra ma me ana wo Phyllis Talenda
yeah o debi
ayo me pa cho for say hin akase free
me pa cho me de oreku
okay ora
because if it pa cho na me because if bisa say on the ochre kwa pa so nya na it has some similarities with the how to call it cholera. It's not bisa say what is the difference between cholera and then poliomyelitis?
Poliomyelitis. Sane kanu.
Yeah.
It was say any cholera no essay. Cholera they say I am too.
I am too.
Sabi o ne na wo fe.
And also you fecal oral.
Okay.
No, excuse me, typhoid, yes.
Typhoid fever.
Aye, na only na afraid they are modern one. Me ba cho wo go cho difference
no. The means of getting it, is a typhoid.
Ane. Unti won say wo ka say aboa bi ekosi agyanan so a na ebeka wo ho ana say ebeka waduane mo na wodi a saa kwan so na typhoid so eba. Enti wo say mo ma ye hu difference between typhoid and polio.
Okay. As we said, the poliomyelitis is a viral disease. But typhoid is not viral disease. It's a bacterial infection. Even though it is also through the contaminated water, food, and the rest. But they are coming from different. Typhoid is bacterial infection, and then polio is what? Viral infection.
Now with the typhoid, so there is treatment.
And
then it can be,
but this one, there's no cure for it. The only way is just the prevention.
Okay.
And the prevention is only through vaccination. So we see why the vaccination is very important.
And my
that is the only means and ways.
Me ba cho what about Masoya for us and now Casa Free?
Good evening.
Good evening, no.
But your family, mammy, see me free Winniba.
Okay, mammy, yet you.
I don't person, Mr. Say, I don't know. I call a 6 weeks, more polona. Obafia Susan. I didn't mention,
Mammy, did not so mammy, Nami Miss our Massam. OPV1 or a panny.
Oral.
Dread, so your numunti, a mistake in why and mammy.
IPV is the third. That is given 14.
Or Modia Bay. And no craft number starting me boy.
It's a booster to the.
And 6 weeks in the anno, and your pannier. A dread so no more. Into paniano and yet
penta and then the PCV.
And PCV near
the PCV is for pneumococcal.
Okay.
I am two. Yeah. And penta and a 5-in-1 hepatitis and
tetanus.
And the reason why aqualano also say like once a panebia area. Into no buy a tool for and I do fan church so for ice block, yeah, then factor to sonamano, paracetamol syrup within 3 days. Now, colana, then I am normal.
Yo, inti mame, I don't know the nanye polio, other vaccinations, no, any de war abofrano, but Nina Mono, who be here say, Oquire Sabiana, Uko way, no, ubebisa questions. I am mumisa questions, na intimate church, Mopania, Bakumi, Nubia, na, ya the one call. And first, we can't mean say, polio ye panie. But later on, I mean, who say, aha, and measles be wo vitamin A wo me pa cho wa ba homa so ma hai ye frost e hina okase free
me pa cho me pokua
sta pokua net sen
me pa cho polo no me ba no anya October me nana October no benya 3 years.
Obetumi.
Banana Friday ma koso ni bi nti mo ba metima asaso ni bi.
Ane obetumi aye.
Ipa chame na masi na mi sha no magba pa mo ye.
Ne da se.
Wa den ka mo.
Tina ye booster.
Booster wo hu. Nti wa wo bi last week kra wo sa wo san age ka hu. Na etimi bu abofra no nti mesrɛ mo enya se last week mi ko ye bi nti mi nya bi. We hu hia. Yesrɛ mo ye de ba mo nye. E scan ye cha. Enko bia be obi a wanya bi kra be ka se menya bi. Ti yesrɛ mo monye ma mofra no why? Enya wonti ne ye de ba. Je ma abofra no na onya ahoden na ne nti oba asase so no womra na womeye adwuma emfa ensom oman no ena afi wankasa ene wabusua me pa cho afrefo a waba ma hai ye frost na he na okasa free
yo me de jona mono me ka se free sapema
ofa ye tie wo wase misa ene de he
ma sem bisa ne se pa ne bi o e wa me ma ti ba ye wo no pa ne sanya me ma me na ni da ho a anka na to fa se e hono ye me ma me de crazy ohu ye no de crazy so fa so aya tanka me bra no kan se no wa ye abolomia
na o kai panie kra ye kokko wo no
esa bre no panie no e ko wo no mo se ni esusa enti no me
wangasa wonim yo
nim se panie we amen kai panie kra se
of I da say but wo panie na oto ho na e bia ye oda
oh e bia ye meda
me mi say me wo panie ma me to ho no ye pa na hu me a asem akoye lipo na sugar bisa no but ni nyina mu no eye no kra se o de kerosene efifa so ebe ko
bi eno kra ebi no mentality of that no e na omo de ya wo panie na akose that reaction obi o ye beka che ni nti ode ne ba na eba no de crazy na nyema ye ho nti wo de panie no wo na eko create problem na afi omo de be say yes panie na ama na ye den
asemo
e na ye wo panie na ye ka cho say ade a betume de ato so aye blog ice blog o de tawo be fa ho na ade a enye se one day na we jai
yo
be ne be 3 days
okay yo enti we no kra na enye se na no maami bi a ode ne ba ko hospital ohu ye se wonye yi on kom ye fa nsuo nsi ne so obe hu ase ayi drip no wode akofie wo kwa no aduane ai enti mo ko hospital ho no ne ye ka asam na mo nte ase a mo misa mu ye o ampa wo odi infusion ni na akofie basics o oba ne ebisa nse na ye we de ye hospital wo se ma me se me fa me se me so enti wo de ba
na
aba be no ade esi ne so so ati ase enti aya mo misa questions na ye ntimi enyi ensem bia no mamo polio ye yare bia ehu hia pa se wo se ete ye ho ase ye na before e be kɔ no emre ni ho but before e be kɔ no ye wonye ma bia pese ye kire mo na yetimi eye ahweye na ye da ye ho so e wo ya setene enti ofen ya to ni din say watch these things hwe sa na emayi ya ahweye e wo ho na intimi emwa harmful effects of leftovers leftovers ya ye kan ye nuane ebi ukra ye ice cream enema de obi won ma wodidi wi a ade e beche no esanse nanum ye ni denti aduane ne ye ni denti won fansie yie enti ade achi a obi won ka ne hye wonya ne hwe na ferment acid abem wodi anachese obi kura timi di aduane bo no abo acid yi content ne wo soro a how papa na kai say enema ana enuane a wobeja ho ama ade achi so no ade achi a bomodin ase obetumi aka ne hye ana se gya edi kura wanhwe ana afa oyem ene obi ete yi kura ba so a de muni nyina wantimi anko baabi no bacteria saya na ebe munti no ade a ha ye nipadua pa afei bacteria ba ye leftovers enuane ade achi so ana se aka emu a etimi haye pa ema se aduane no enyam akwa hyehyɛ baabi a wɔsɛ nke kokɔhyɛ ɛwɔ nipadua na akwa mu no aya na akwa ye den ɛde ama ɛyɛ nipadua ne nti aya na ɛde wɔhaw ɛba mɔbɔde aso betumi de aduane na hyɛ fridge mu dɔhwe bɛsɛ mienu ne akyire ansa na watumi ayi aka ne hye ɛdi anya saa de wɔhaw kɛseɛ ɛna ɛbɛbrɛw enti no wei ene nneɛma bi ɛsɛsɛ yɛ ahwɛyie ɛwɔ ho enuane aka no yɛnka ase menni o yɛnka ase menni ubetimi adi na emom no bɔ mmɔden asɛ ɔbɛyɛ ahwɛyie ansa na watumi adi aha